This is our long-term Subaru BRZ, and I need you to hop in the comments right now and tell me why you hate this car so much. You're clearly not gonna buy one because almost nobody does. So really, what's the problem with this thing? It's too slow?
Come on, I got the turbo.
It's not practical enough? It's not family friendly? We put 15,000 miles on our long-term Subaru BRZ, and we know what sucks, that's really not that nice, and what's great about it.
That's good.
So today we're gonna answer the questions. Should you buy one, and would we? And if you're interested in what it's like to live with a Bronco, a Corvette, or this BRZ, check out our long-term vlog where we run cars for a year or more. I haven't driven our BRZ in a while, so right now I'm re-familiarizing myself with this car. But it's like a firm handshake from a longtime friend or a cozy blanket and a hot cup of joe on a cold winter's morning. You're instantly at home with this car. It's so easy to just get in and go. It's a beautiful, lovely thing to drive. Every time you hop into a BRZ, you are instantly reminded about what makes it so special. And that brings me on to what me and everyone else at Edmunds liked about it so much.
My favorite thing about the BRZ is the handling, and especially its turn-in. So the steering has sort of a very unique feel to it in that there's no delay at all. So with a lot of these other steering systems these days, the electronic ones especially, you can feel that when you turn the car in, the nose is a touch slow to react. But in the BRZ, it's quick, and if you turn the car in, you get on the throttle too quickly, it's going to step out immediately, but you're able to use the steering to kind of save it. So that's my favorite thing about it.
Best thing about BRZ, driving experience. It's so analog that you feel super connected to the car. And honestly, because it's so diminutive, it's really agile and it's fun to drive.
I really just think the BRZ is fun to drive all the time. It doesn't have a lot of power, so you can kind of run it pretty hard around the city and you're not going to go too fast. The clutch is easy, the shifter is really precise. It doesn't get old, and I've put a lot of miles on this car at this point.
It's just so accessible. It's the perfect way to get used to driving a rear-wheel drive sports car with a manual gearbox. All the good words you hear associated with driving a lightweight sports car apply to this thing. It's tossable, flingable, you can put it wherever you wantable. It's fabulous. Because there's only 228 horsepower, you can use almost all of it all of the time. And with a 0 to 60 time of just 6.1 seconds, it's not like it's slow. It's punchier than a Miata, that's for darn sure.
Out here on our test track, I love to use the BRZ as sort of a baseline. It really tells me how a car should drive and how a car should handle. So we get into cars out here that have more power or maybe have, more grip, but the BRZ just kind of grounds you, and I really loved it every time I got to drive it.
It actually recently beat the bigger and more powerful WRX in one of our U-Drags, and if you haven't watched that yet, you should do that right here. So, is there anything wrong with this car? Of course there is. Nothing's perfect. But in order to show you that, I'm gonna have to get out of the driver's seat. And frankly, I don't wanna do that yet. God, I love this thing. So what's the matter with this thing? Well, it's not the most comfortable car in the world. The seats are great and the ride isn't too bad, even on LA's awful roads. The problem comes down to all the noises this thing makes, and none of them are good. At low revs, the little 4-cylinder sounds like it's gargling on gravel, and it doesn't get that much better as you move closer to redline. But the worst part is the endless road and tire noise. Take the wheel wells. There's no sound deadening whatsoever, and that means that every surface the wheels roll over gets transmitted into some kind of rubbing or droning that gets sent straight into your eardrums. The wind creates the exact same sort of problem. It's part of the compromise to keep this car as light as possible. Maybe just leave a load of earplugs in the glove box? Another major gripe with the BRZ is the build quality.
Everything is where you want, except the cup holders are kind of behind your elbow. I guess it's just where the shifter and the console are placed, and there's not much better place for it, but it's kind of a pain in the butt.
That's really not that nice at all.
My least favorite thing are those little plastic covers that you get on the USB ports, because you kind of got to flip them out of the way each time you want to plug something in, and they always feel like they're going to snap off, but that's not really a BRZ issue, that's more of just a Subaru general issue.
Now I know it's inexpensive, but so is the Golf GTI and the Mazda Miata, and they're both built with higher quality materials than this thing is. Like, these feel like they're out of a child's plaything. Over the course of our year with the BRZ, we had a laundry list of things break, and that's mostly just because they're cheap. This dome light, for example, wouldn't work, and we broke one of the USB ports almost immediately, which means we were down to just one for the whole year. That's not good. Fun story, it also ended up jettisoning a wheel center cap and multiple wheels lost valve stem caps. Nice. Yeah, that's not very nice either. Look, these are all pretty small annoyances, but they're things we wish didn't muddy our experience with the BRZ, and like I said earlier, all of its rivals are built nicer. Everything else is a compromise you should expect when you buy a sports car, like how much it sucks to get a kid in the back.
So I'd signed out the BRZ and realized when I got it home that I needed to put a car seat in it and get my daughter to school. Not fun. It took me almost 5 minutes to shoehorn it in. And then I realized that the rear strap, I wasn't able to attach it without moving the driver's seat all the way up, then getting in through that side. Ended up twisting my ankle. Overall, not an awesome experience. As you can see, it barely fit. If my daughter was an inch taller, I wouldn't be able to move the headrest any higher. The BRZ is not a family vehicle in any way, but it did work in a pinch.
Can't do that in a GT3 RS, can you? So what about cost of ownership? Well, over the course of our year, the BRZ was relatively inexpensive to maintain. We spent $759 for a new set of brake pads and to have the rotors resurfaced for a little track day action. There's nothing wrong with the brakes, we just wanted to be extra careful. Beyond that, this thing was no problem at all. Like most performance cars, the BRZ takes premium fuel, but we averaged a more than respectable 25 mpg over the course of the year, and that helps keep ever pricier gas station visits to an absolute minimum. We had 15,000 fun and trouble-free miles in our BRZ, so would we buy one ourselves? That's the question. 35 grand to put a car in your driveway right now. What do you buy? I know my answer.
It's affordable, it drives well, it's reasonably comfortable, the fuel economy is good. Mainly, it's just fun all the time. Would I buy a BRZ? Yeah, I think I might.
No, I'm not. What would I rather have than the BRZ? Prius, Civic, Maverick.
For $30,000, my wife had to make a decision whether to keep her BRZ or buy a new car. She ended up buying a Crosstrek because need more cargo?
I think that there's more practical options. It's day-to-day livability, not quite there, and if you ever have to carry more than 2 people, which I do on occasion, I don't want to have to apologize.
I mean, my coworkers have no taste. Okay, maybe the BRZ isn't for everyone, but we can't overstate how good it is to drive. Even after a year with it, we still love getting behind the wheel. In fact, the BRZ is so good at what it does, it won an Edmunds Top Rated award for 2022. So we might not buy it as a family car, but we definitely buy it as a sports car. Check out our complete experience with the BRZ over at our long-term blog. And as always, thanks for watching.